Hey guys, I'm outside with all the noisy cicadas out here. They're noisy out here. Anyhow, since I've been going over my tools and working on stuff, I wanted to show you guys. I made these wheel chocks back in the 90s. I've had a bunch of crappy jobs in my life, and if you don't make good pay, you can't buy the stuff you want, so you got to make it instead. A lot of places I've worked at, you get these 4x4s. If you turn it on its end, it looks like a 4x4. I'd get these 4x4s and I'd bring them home, and I took a circular saw, and this is a 45. Now, I didn't cut completely through, I just wanted an edge off. Because as the wheels stop, you just kick this part up against that tire. And I wanted them, I kind of took an idea off the way they do airplanes. And I had them all painted, and all these years, paint's falling off them. I guess I should go ahead and redo them. But I put some eye bolts, or eyelets, right here on the end, and I tied a rope, put a piece of water hose, old water hose. And you can see that I just put a big knot through that. And, you can just carry these around like this. But, when you're working on stuff, you need to chalk them wheels up, make sure stuff don't move. Lawnmowers, go-karts, mini bikes, just cars, whatever. And I thought, man, I ought to show you guys that you can make a whole, and I got a whole batch of these. I got I think four sets of these. And I've had these since the 90s, and all they need is repainted. I ought to dig through there and see what kind of paint I got left over and repaint them. But anyhow, I thought I'd show you guys these, and these are easy to make. And, good little stuff to have around, good stuff for the shop and everything. If you're working on stuff, you need to learn how to work on stuff, because it's getting too expensive to pay people to do crap anymore. Anyhow, thought I'd show you this and give you some ideas. Like I said, I always come up with good stuff on my YouTube channel. Anyhow, you guys, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to do the best I can on this site. And anyhow, you guys have a good one, and we will catch you on the next video. Excuse me. I've been painting on these, and I have one set on the counter over there. I'll show you in just a little bit. But I had some leftover blue paint. Still have quite a bit left, and that's what I'll use. You'll see that the end grain is where it needs to soak in more, and I haven't painted the bottoms yet. But I've been looking at some things. I use these eyelets, and look how they move. I'm going to try something different to make them stay in better. I discovered 1, 2, 3, and this will be the 4th set, that, as you can see, one is missing. So I've got to make one more of these. This one I completely painted, and I just hung up here. And so I got one of the blocks on the side, and I'll cut that, and then take the skill saw, do a 45 down one side. But these screws that go in here seem to pop out pretty easily. And so what I'm going to do is take these out and take my good old plumber's tape and just put a piece of the plumber's tape over it and run 2 wood screws in, pre-drill the holes, and that way they're in there good and deep and tight, and these won't fail. This, you're pulling on the rope when you pull them out from underneath a vehicle or whatever, and so all the stress is going right here. So that's why I want to do that. So let me work on these some more and I'll get back with you. Okay, these end pieces, you can see how I took the original holder, had to spread them out and get the lines out of them. But then on this one I had a big knot on it, so I just drilled 2 pilot holes. And what I mean by a pilot hole is I take a drill bit, and you can see the screw right there, and I size up, there it is, I size this up to where it's the size of the shank in the middle and not the threads. That way when this drills into the wood, the shank has room, but the threads are going into the wood. And that makes it to where you can get that screw in all the way. The wood won't crack, and it has a great thread hold. And I use these long 2-inch screws. But that's what I did. This one had a loop. I put a 1 1/4-inch screw with a washer on it, and then I put that on top of it because that's going nowhere. Now you noticed I put these angles towards each other as I'm building these, because that's, your wheel is going to fit in here. Pretend that's the wheel. And so that way, you know, these are fitting on good, and I could just grab that, pull it, take them out. But yeah, these angles are going to be towards each other, and this is going to be on the outside. So I still got some more painting. Let me work on this one, the one I'm missing, and show you guys. I'll put it together for you. This one I just still have to paint on it. But other than that, it's, you can see the bottom isn't painted, but this one will be done. This will be good for a bunch more years. Anyhow, let me work on that other one and get a video of that. Okay, I redid all the ends. You can see how I put the strapping on. That's 2-inch screws, goes deep into the wood. This one I got turned around backwards to keep them all together on the table, because I'm going to be painting them. This stuff here is bed liner, and bed liner stuff does not stick to wood. So that's a tip for you guys. Don't use that stuff on wood. Don't work. But like the loop right there, I put a 1 1/4-inch screw and a washer, and then put that piece over it. So that ought to be good and sturdy. And I'll paint them here in a little while. Yeah. Let me show you I worked on this piece, chopped that end off, and on this end, reason I cut this end is that there was a lot of cracks in the wood, and you can see it already cracked, pieces coming off. So that was a reason why I did that. And you don't have to be perfect, and I don't care if it's perfect. And I don't care if these are all have to be the same length and all that stuff. It doesn't matter. Now I cut this with my bandsaw. All I did was put it on its edge and just pushed it through. I just recently got a new blade on here. It's really sharp, and that's the biggest thing on these things. And so that's how I cut that. But paint on them, got the ends done, and work on it, getting this one together. This will give me 4 sets. Let me get back to working on these, and I'll do another video. Okay, this is the one that I made the extra. The one I lost. Painted it and I just hung it up here. You can see how the knots go through the metal strapping. And if you look at the metal strapping, cut it in between 4 holes. And that's 2-inch screws that run into that I run a pilot screw through. And I use water hose, leftover water hose. Letting it dry. These I painted. So when I'm done, I'll have me 4 sets. You can see how it goes across, 2-inch screws, 4 holes. And this is the bottom. This is the part that I didn't have painted yet. Excuse me, I got that crud that's going around. But waiting for these to dry up. You can see how the screw head is right there with a washer on it, and then that strap holds all that together. Should be nice and strong. You know, that's how I pulled that other one out, is that, you know, you're grabbing that handle and pulling them out from underneath tires and wheels and stuff. You can see how there's cracks in that. If I ever have where it looks like it's going to split all the way in 2, I could wrap that plumber's tape around that, or the plumber's strapping, and screw it in, and that'd be a way to keep these together. So used everything's, I almost used that up. So I gotta let these dry before I do anything else. But anyhow, this little fix that I did to these, first of all, these are really cheap. There's places that you work at that you get pallets and other stuff like that. They'll put, they get truckloads in. They'll use 4x4s to secure loads, and that's how I got a bunch of these. And so I really don't have much money into them. You know, it's cheap shop tools. And you need these. You need these. So I'll probably do one more video after this one. But for now, let me let them dry. And I'm burning up out here. Catch you on the next video.